What is up, air signs? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. How are y'all doing, man? Let's go ahead and knock out some general messages for you all for June 2024. I haven't done general messages in a while, have I? All right, y'all. You know what to do if you would like to find out how to schedule a personal reading. Check down there in the description of this video, and you will find a link that'll take you straight to that page on my website, where you'll find everything that you need to know as far as how to go about doing that. All right, so let's start this off with Gemini. Now remember, this is general messages. General, career, finance, friends, family, anything but love and romance. All right, let's see what we got for the Gemini collective. Uh-oh, some of y'all are having troubles with your mom, possibly. Even if it's not your mom, I'm still kind of feeling like it's family. Family or somebody close enough to be family. Could be a Taurus for some of you. Boom. Okay. Yep, got that death card there. Maybe some of you could have just recently lost a loved one. Now, no, I am not predicting the death of a loved one. I don't do that for general messages. But maybe some of you could have just recently lost a loved one. That's a little side story. More specifically, some of you could have just lost your mom. But I think the majority of you, whatever this issue is that you have with this person, you know that the connection is not going to survive 2024. There's just too much tension. Too much tension, and it just doesn't seem to be getting any better. And it's kind of screwing with you a little bit too. Some of you might actually be losing sleep over this. Some of you, maybe this person, you feel like is using you for money possibly, or just taking advantage of you for whatever reason. Very possibly. Because I do think that this person is probably a very irresponsible, unreliable individual anyway. And especially those of you who are more financially blessed than your average person. Maybe you feel like they're taking advantage of you. But yeah, the tension is just getting too damn heavy. It's getting too thick between the two of you. And if the energy keeps rolling on the same track that it's rolling on, this is not going to survive 2024. Absolutely not. So let's get the advice. What's the general advice for Gemini? General advice. Hey, 8 of coins reversed. So first things first. You should never find yourself bending over backwards trying to make somebody like you. Ever. 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 Don't ever bend over backwards and try to make anybody like you. And especially if you're dealing with somebody that you feel like is using you, taking advantage of you, or whatever the problem is. Some of you may even be dealing with a situation with somebody who has narcissistic tendencies, and if you were to say something, they could easily twist it around and make you look like the crazy person, right? You know, gaslighting you and whatnot. Death card again, second time in a row. 2 of Cups reversed. There's one or two things you can do with this particular connection here. You can either cut this off now. You can either cut it off now or keep spinning around in a loop-de-loop with this person, in which it's probably going to lose control, crash, and burn and hit a brick wall before 2024 is over. Then, now, some of you may just say, well, I'll wait until the universe does it then. Okay, that's cool. But you're going to create more karma doing that. Even if, I don't know if the two of you had karma when you first came together. But I'll tell you what right now, if you let this go until it blows up between the two of you, you're going to have karma in 2025. So I would recommend at some point doing what you know needs to be done. If it's a connection that you know you need to step away from, you got to step away from it then. Or you're just going to create more karma. All right. Libra. Libra, these are general messages for those of you just now tuning in. General, career, finance, friends, family, anything but love. What general messages do we have for the Libra collective? King of Swords. Some of you dealing with a fellow air sign, possibly. High Priestess reversed. Uh-oh, the Devil card. So there's somebody in your close circle of friends and family, or honestly, whoever it is that comes to your mind when I say this. Anybody but a lover or a love interest. This is not romance. This is not love interest. Feels like close circle of friends and family. You suspect maybe a toxic person, but you're going back and forth in your own head because you can't figure out whether or not you're just making that up in your head. A battle between ego and intuition. Some days it just doesn't really seem like this person gives a shit. Other days it may seem like this person's trying to manipulate you. You can't really tell though. One day you're feeling like, man, you know what? My intuition is picking up that something's off about you. Something's off. This person's toxic. Then the next day you're like, no, well, maybe I'm just overthinking this. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's just some unhealed trauma of mine. And so you go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. But it's really wearing and tearing on you though. It's seriously wearing and tearing on you. You know what that card is, right? That's the card of walking away. Huh, okay. Well, some of you dealing with a Capricorn, possibly. Who else do I have here? I also have Cancer. All right. Well, let's get some general advice for Libra. What's the general advice? General advice for the Libra collective. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Five of Wands. Well, I will never advise that you resort to conflict. But I will advise that you defend yourself. I'm not saying start a fight. I'm not saying get rude, get snappy, get shitty, get nasty. I'm not saying get a bad, fucked up attitude. But don't be afraid to defend yourself. Don't be afraid to defend yourself. And don't let them try to shame you for defending yourself. But this kind of feels like one of those kinds of connections that if you know that if you do defend yourself, it's probably going to turn into some drama. Probably. So you don't want to just let it keep happening. You don't want to let it just keep happening over and over and over. But you'd also don't want to resort to conflict. But I do think that a conversation does need to be had between the two of you, or conflict is inevitable. It's coming at some point. Probably sooner. Probably sooner. Probably before the end of summer, honestly. And to try to stay balanced walking down this slippery slope. Have that conversation, and if it starts to turn into conflict, then just ghost them. If you try to have a conversation about what's bothering you, if you try to have a conversation about what's bugging you, and it triggers them, and they start a fight with you, then just psh, 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 psh. I mean, technically, that's not even really ghosting. Not technically. Not by the book. Technically, ghosting is when you abandon somebody for no fucking reason. If you set somebody down and you want to talk about something that's bothering you, and they pop off and get all nasty and snappy and shitty and mean about it, that's a fucking reason. That's not technically ghosting. So just because somebody throws shitty, hateful energy at you does not mean that you have to catch it and throw it back. No, it don't. All you gotta do is duck. Let it fly over your head. That's all you gotta do. All right, Aquarius. What general messages do we have for the Aquarian collective? What messages do we have? Uh-oh, some of y'all might have some issues with your mom, possibly. Doesn't have to be. Hang on. Ooh, you definitely got a snake in the grass. Definitely. Absolutely. Now, this feels family related to me. Doesn't have to be, like I always say, whoever the first person is that comes to your mind when I say this. But I think for the majority of the Aquarians that need to hear this message, I think a lot of you having an issue with your mom. But even if it's not your mom, I still feel like it is a very, very close person in your life. And I think you know this too, but maybe you're too afraid to abandon this. You're just trying to keep it to yourself. Tension's kind of building. You're keeping it to yourself. You're not saying that. You don't want to start no fights. You don't want to start no bullshit. You're kind of hoping that this person will have common fucking sense, see the error of their ways, and fix and correct themselves. You kind of tend to give people the benefit of the doubt sometimes, right? I think you all get in trouble for that a lot, don't you? And it gets misconstrued. Sometimes people think that you're afraid of confrontation or conflict. And it's not that, it's that you are trying to give the person the benefit of the doubt and think, okay, well, you have to have a fucking brain cell in your head. All right? You have to have enough of a brain cell in your head to know that what you're doing is fucked up. And you have to have enough of a brain cell in your head to go inside and correct the issue like a normal, decent fucking human being. I think you may be giving this person the benefit of the doubt because I don't think this person has a damn clue. I don't think they care. So it doesn't really look like this issue is resolving itself. It's looping around and looping around and looping around. And like I said, what is it with the air signs? All three air signs have something similar. A very, very similar message for all three air signs. Is it an air sign thing? Is it because, what season are we in right now? Gemini season? Is that the reason? Is it the Gemini season, man? Okay, well, let's get the advice for Aquarius. What's the advice? What is the advice? Ooh, the star card. So actually, you're right. I may have spoke too soon. You're right. This person does know what the hell they're doing. I spoke too soon on that. But this is telling me that a conversation needs to be had between the two of you. But here's the problem. Whoever this is, I don't think that this person is mature enough. They know what they're doing, but they're not mature enough to know how to fix the problem. For example, you ever met that young, dumbass, 21-year-old kid that's always out drinking and driving and doing dumb shit? And they're grown enough to know that they shouldn't be fucking doing that. But they're too goddamn immature to know how to replace those stupid habits and hobbies with something more constructive. Because they're just too damn immature. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing is wrong. But they just don't quite possess the brain matter to replace that with something more productive, right? May have been a silly analogy, but that's the best thing that I can think of with the King of Pentacles in the reverse and 2 pages here. I think this person might be a little bit too immature. What is it with the air signs, man? All 3 air signs have a very similar message. Very similar. Because here we got the conflict and the drama card. And as you can see, all the cards, 7 of Swords, 5 of Wands, came up for all 3 air signs in different decks. I'm not pulling these cards from the same decks. Damn, man. I'm trying to figure out how to give you different advice than I gave Libra, because y'all, maybe some of you are dealing with a Libra. Maybe some of you are dealing with a Gemini. I don't know. These messages are so eerily similar that I don't want to just give the same advice to every air sign. So how the hell do I give you different advice? A conversation needs to be had though, man. Ace of Swords, Page of Swords. And yeah, it's probably gonna turn into some fucking drama. Probably is. But you know what you need to do? You need to put your foot down and keep your composure. I think of all of the other air signs, you do that best. You are much better, and not that all of you utilize this little talent that you have, but you are at an energetic advantage when it comes to being able to remain silent when somebody's trying to provoke you. So that's probably what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to lay the law down. And whenever they try to throw some shit at you, just remain silent. Let them hold that energy. Let them bathe in it. Especially if some of you are dealing with somebody that's just too young. It may not be all of you, but I feel like 1 or 2 of you may be dealing with somebody that's between the ages of 18 and 22, and they just don't possess the brains. You know, not in a bad way. I'm not saying this is a bad person. I'm just saying this is a very immature person. But yeah, when it all comes down to it, I don't care who you are. I don't care what your sign is. I don't care why you're watching this video. What is the point of having anybody in your life that is doing nothing but causing drama? Then what's the point? What are you in my life for? What am I in your life for? I think all the air signs got some people they need to cut out of their life in 2024. That's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like to me. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I normally don't like conflate more than one sign in these videos. But since all 3 air signs got a similar message, I'm going to tell Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, the majority of you all know you got somebody in your life that got to go. Somebody. Could be a friend, could be family. Somebody, I don't care if it's family, especially if it's family. You know toxic family can fuck you up even worse than a toxic friend can. Oh yeah, it can. You better not be afraid to walk away from a goddamn toxic family member. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your mama. I don't care if it's your daddy. I don't care if it's your sister. I don't care if it's your cousin. Does that give the person a license to treat you like shit just because y'all share blood? No. No. Who the fuck you is? Got me fucked up. I will never talk to you again. Watch me. All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my air sign friends needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thank you all once again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget to check down there in the description of this video if you would like to find out how to schedule a personal reading. And I'm going to get out of here now, y'all. I wish you love, luck, light, and prosperity on your journey.